here's the problem here, because I'm not speaking from in my perspective. I'd rather critique Brian because it's a lot easier. What it seems to me is that in your marriage, you essentially, when you go down to get the license, you opted for handing in your balls, and that's the issue. I think what you need to do is try to compromise for those back
clothing, perhaps.
Well, you don't want her to wear that, so just start working there. That's a good place to start. I'd prefer if you never wore it. So we're at an impasse. This is how Republicans debate, by the way. It's like, the fact that I allow you to wear clothing is a compromise. So let me soundproof my room. I'm not gonna try to. I'm not even gonna finish that sentence. I'm not even gonna keep talking. I like this friendship actually, and I'd rather it not end. So I'm not gonna say anything.
And she was really thankful that I did it, but I did such a shitty job that she was pissed off at me about it. That's what will happen, is that she'll be pissed off that it's like, what the fuck did you do that for?
How did you do?
It's here now.
The patriarchy at work here, folks.
Yeah, exactly.
Take notes.
How did you do such a shitty job? I mean, painting is like one of the easiest things in the world. Like, did you just not tape off all the things so you didn't get paint everywhere? Or were you in a Charlie Chaplin movie, perhaps, where you stepped on a plank and the fucking, paint jumped off the edge of the plank and it hit the wall?
Actually, I did knock the paint can over, but I cleaned up the carpet, that I spilt it on. However, my layering...
You didn't even put dust sheets down?
I did, but I knocked the paint can over before I got it to the fucking sheets.
Okay, I'm starting to build up a mental picture of Brian DIY. It's much like Brian playing PC.
God damn it! That's exactly what I wanted to say. Fuck you, Eddie. Fuck you. Fuck you, man. Oh.
We all know who wears the tool belt in this relationship, and it ain't me.
I've never seen Frudo actually angry at me, but that was genuine anger. Like, anyone... It's like not taking candy from a baby. It's like stealing a punchline from a comedian will get you fucking smacked in the face.
I really assume Brian's aim with a paintbrush is exactly as inept as his aim with a mouse. He has no clue where that thing's going. He's struggling to try to keep up. He's missing half the wall. Why did you even do this? Why did you even attempt this? It's the same exact feeling that we see when we see
my coding was just uneven all over the place, much like, my coding of enemies with bullets in CS:GO. Exactly.
No, what would have happened was that only the floor and the ceiling would have got painted, surely.
Everything except what you were aiming at.
Yeah.
You know what, though? I hope they do leave the masks in there, and here's why. Because then I could tell the idiots on my team. Similar to Ash Wednesday, I could tell all of the idiots walking around with shit on their fucking head. It's my favorite day of the year. It's all the people that are dumb enough to be marked, I can just silently judge them. It's the same thing with these masks in Battlefield Hardline. I can go, well, that guy's a fucking idiot. He's not going to play the objective. I don't want him in my squad. This new, thing of Day 1 DLC has my Jimmy's fucking Russell.
See, I just want to mention here that you so totally channeled JD from NY in the beginning of that segment. You're like, this has me fucking
these cocksuckers. I can't do the accent. I wish I could. That was a fail. I should have practiced that.
It was amazing. Shout out to JD.
An example I was going to use is a game that I thought was fucking awesome, Gotham City Imposters. The DLC weapons for that game fucking ruined it completely. It killed it. It made the game completely dumb and unplayable as far as I'm concerned. Because here's the issue. Not only because in that game it's basically COD, cartoonish. Think of it like that. That's the way it is.
Yeah.
But they came out with this gun which bounced off walls and shot these big Tesla balls everywhere and electrocuted you, and it was really fucking annoying. The problem was that it was good, annoying to play against, and ruined the game. Now, luckily with Battlefield, let's just be completely honest right now, all the guns in Battlefield and COD are pretty much fucking stale, where there's not a whole lot of difference between them. I know you nerds will start saying, actually, there's a 3-shot killer. No, listen, it's basically the same shit. It's not widely different. So that's easier to get away with. But it's, I think, a more dynamic game, say like Evolve or Gotham City Imposters, which had different types of weapons and more wacky creations, and it's not just hit scan or realistic bullet mechanics. It's not. There's more variation there. Whereas like the Evolve monsters might, I don't know, one can fly, one shoots fire, one whatever. Right? There's all these weird Dungeons and Dragons metagame to work with. You make one that's a DLC, and if it's annoying to play against, and it's like, man, I don't want to pay for this. I hate playing against it. It'll kill your game instantly. That's rant over.
Keep cutting up full releases and making them DLC if you want. You'll destroy your own industry just like the record industry did.
The only problem, the only issue that I foresee is this. Halo 3 was a much more skill gap competitive game, and Call of Duty came along and it was a much more casual, anybody could pick up a controller and play it type of game. With Titanfall, it's not that way. There is a skill gap there. And I think it'll turn a lot of casual players off when they're getting shat on all the fucking time. To me, I think that they have to casualize the game a bit more, and I don't think it's as easy as spread it across multiple platforms, right? Call of Duty Advanced Warfare has a built-in skill gap with it, with all the different mobility, but the way they designed the game to take skill into account with the matchmaking has created this false parity of everybody is not as far away skill-wise as people think, and KDs are normalized towards 1. And I think that that is a way for Call of Duty to casualize the game artificially, even though the game's design has that skill gap in there. I don't know if Titanfall is going to do the same thing. I mean, they did come out with a ranked play, with a ranked chip that you could turn on and off, which I think they'll roll that idea over into the next game. But will that be a core part of the game or not? I'm not really sure. And that's the only reason why I'd worry about Titanfall 2 killing off Call of Duty.
We're not saying it will. I'm saying that COD is ripe for that. Playing COD now is like watching Led Zeppelin in 1980. Actually, this is like watching Led Zeppelin at Live Aid with fucking Phil Collins filling in drums, right? So you got these memories of Led Zeppelin 1, 2, and 4, these incredible albums that everyone loves. And this isn't their best years. And we're waiting for the next fucking kill. We're waiting for Guns N' Roses or Nirvana or, you know, we're waiting for the next thing to take over.
Wow, Eddie, just completely pass over New Wave. Wow. Terrible.
Yeah, do you know why I passed over it? Because it sucked.
Led Zeppelin's a perfect analogy because they plagiarize most of their ideas too. Todd copies everybody. But let's just be honest. Let's just be honest. It's better with Led Zeppelin, right? They improve on that shit. Anybody watch or listen rather to Spirits, whatever the fuck it's the song which Stairway to Heaven stole the intro of. Stairway to Heaven's way better. They improved it. God damn it.
There is modding on console, but it's almost always malicious modding. It's never like, it's never nice shit.
Let me
fly.
I've
never gotten to a lobby where the hacker was like, hey guys, we're just going to play this game, but there's just going to be a rainbow across the backdrop as we shoot the shit out of each other. No, that never happens.
Rock Band in development for Xbox One, PS4. And I notably see a lack of Wii U, which makes me upset because if I were to get a console, I'd want it to be on a Wii U. The game ain't that fucking dense. I don't see why they couldn't fit it on there. I don't know. The graphics of the floating gems that come down the aisle is too much for the Wii U's processor to handle.
I have way too much DLC in Rock Band 2. That I have probably a whole nother game worth of money sunk into Rock Band 2 just in song DLC. That's like the perfect DLC model too. It's just pumping out songs and albums and shit like that.
They are a bit overpriced, I will say that. World of Tanks coming to Xbox One this year will allow cross-platform play with Xbox 360 users.
I think
that's because the hardware's very similar. So
except on the Xbox One, you can't invite your friends. That's the problem.
Yeah. And you can't talk to people.
You can't play through speakers and headset on the Xbox One.
It's getting terrible reviews across the board. And
even IGN went below a 7. That's fucking impressive.
Yeah, right? They're going to lose so many ad dollars with that score.
So even though Glenn Schofield is like the hammer and he makes a Call of Duty game that isn't a COD to me and doesn't do what I want COD to do, and in my eyes is a failure on those terms, he's still made a game that isn't Ghosts. So surely he deserves some sort of knighthood.
Right? Like, there's more ads in Philip DeFranco's show than he lets on, which YouTube supposedly wants a cut of now, which defeated the purpose, because the reason why he did that is because the YouTube ad program was so shitty to begin with. So they had to go out to, now it's like, no, we want all of it. We want everything. By the way, you don't get mobile. We want more of it. It's like, what are you doing? That we went this way. So now that, what? You only can have t-shirts. You want to take a fucking chunk of that too? Selling t-shirts and hats and mugs and stuff? No, you can't have a sponsored link in the description either. We want more.
You're deluded if you think that you think you deserve that money. Like, who the fuck are you? You're just the site. You're not the content. Don't confuse the two. You're not the content.
To be fair, though, Eddie, if, like, say, for example, you use a movie clip in one of your videos, you're not getting sued by Paramount Pictures. YouTube is getting sued by Paramount Pictures. So in that way, they do shield you from some of the legalities that do go on. However, I mostly agree with you that them to be doing it this way is very egregious.
You know, they look at TV networks and they go, oh, well, the TV networks fuck everybody all the time, so we'll do that to fit in, right?
Yeah, the dying model. Let's adapt to be the dying model that we're replacing.
But then they shouldn't call it YouTube. They should call it those guys that do shit WellTube. You know what I mean? Like, there's a big difference. The reason why it's called YouTube is you can have any random Joe Schmo schmuck upload whatever they want to the website. But if there was a filtration system by which they would go, all right, only high quality production audio and video is on this website, then that'd be a different story. But they've already opened up the gates with the term YouTube to let any fucking Tom, Dick, and Harry Beepity Bop upload whatever they want to the website.
And there are people out there that are on film saying Sharia law will be in Britain. Right, let's use Britain as a context. Sharia law will be in Britain. I know, like, he's talking to like a flock of, there's a radical preacher from Egypt, and he's talking to a flock of his own converted. He's like, I know you guys hate this, but we have to do it within their system. I know it's filthy. I know it's wrong, as Allah says, but we're going to use their system and we're going to take over. He says this, right? And he says we're going to use their ideas against them. And these are the people that. This is who ISIS is. This guy is non-violent, right? So he doesn't kill people himself, but he creates the environment where these people will find it acceptable.
There is no core tenet of atheism that demands, if some motherfucker parks in your spot, sentence him to death because it shamed the dear leader. No, there is no logical line, and I think that's a very Sam Harris-esque approach to that. I've listened to him talk a ton. But there's no logical line to be drawn there, as opposed to Charlie Hebdo. If I'm probably saying that wrong for the millionth time, whatever. Hebdo, I don't fucking know. That, or the Denmark shooting, or Danish cartoons from a long time ago with the same fucking thing. They're against free speech and freedom of expression. They say, well, why can't you just be nice about it? Why can't there be some censorship when it hurts people's feelings? Because no, motherfucker, we allow for dangerous, crazy ideas like yours to exist, by the way. We allow for the KKK, we allow for religions, and we allow for everybody else in between. That is the empowerment of the people, and that's why it's not the same thing. Now, he put Muhammad on a dog, which the dog is a filthy animal or whatever, right? Those are our AK-47s, and they don't kill anybody, right? That's how we fight this war. And just because one atheist guy shot a gun, it has no connection whatsoever to any other larger dialogue. Because if there was, where's the evidence to support that? Maybe if some atheist trend starts building into some ideological kill-all religion group, then you'd have a point. But there is no such thing.
But my basic point is that they're both from an angle of intolerance, which...
Well, you haven't described that intolerance as a bad thing. Tolerating bad things is good. Tolerating it, the law is... Any country with a law is intolerant. It's intolerant of illegal activity. And atheism and all secularists are intolerant of murder.
FMV video, like when FMV video was like the biggest thing in the world, like a pre-rendered scene of like Cloud or Ares getting killed by Sephiroth and
They
all that.
die? Spoiler alert, Eddie! Jesus Christ!
Yeah, the game was only released in 1997.
It's on my list of games to play.
Dude, if you're not a real gamer, because any real gamer knows that Ares dies in Final Fantasy VII.